Hey, this is my 2000 Jeep Wrangler. I'm installing a part today, sponsored by Morris 4x4 Center and car sponsors. This is the Crown Performance brake line kit. As you can, you can't see from here, but when you lift the Jeep, you need to get extended brake lines. Whoever did the lift on this before I got this Jeep did not get extended brake lines. And the other day I was down in Dallas and I turned just sharp enough to bust one of them brake lines. So I was kind of stuck there. So luckily these were already on the way. These are Crown Performance stainless steel brake lines. These are the beefiest brake lines I've ever seen, and I think they're going to look fantastic and perform fantastic. Now, you're going to want to get yourself some Fast Orange hand cleaner. This is not a clean process. Get yourself a big old jug of .3 brake fluid. You're going to need a 10mm ratcheting end. You probably don't need the ratcheting end, but it does help. 3/8, a regular 11mm. Now your setup may differ from mine because I've got kind of a custom setup on my rear axle because I did the 4 to 8.8 swap. You're going to need a T40 for the it's for the brackets on the frame, and you're going to need a 9/16 for the bolt on the caliper, and of course a socket wrench. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's everything you get in your package. You got some brackets to mount to the frame. You get screws with a metal washer and a rubber one. You get 3 of those. You get 4 of these copper washers here. Here's your rear hose. Oops. And then you've got your 2 front ones here. This right here mounts to the caliper, and this will go to the rest of the brake line on the frame. And those 2 are exactly the same. And then you get these little shim looking pieces, which I'm guessing will go on here in some form. So we will go ahead and get started on the first side. Here's the part I was telling you about. That's an 11mm on the top there, and it unscrews from the bracket that holds the hose to the frame. And then that bolt right there is that T40 that I was showing you. So you'll take that out. I would recommend doing the 11mm here first, and then unbolting it there, and then using the 9/16 to remove it down here. Alright, so this is the front passenger side wheel. Here's your caliper. Here's the 9/16 bolt that has to come off. And then further, here's the thing where you bleed your brakes. It's like a little nut deal. And that is a 10mm. Now up here, we've got a 11mm that I was telling you earlier. It screws out from the top of this wire, hose here. Now, it's going to get messy, so you want to make sure you got something to catch the oil, or, if you don't care about landing on the ground. You want to use a 3/8 for this, for the top piece. are going to do the rear. So here's the new bracket. And there should be a bolt on your driver's side frame that will hold the new brake line. And here's my old one right here. And it runs along here. And like I said, this is a custom setup, so yours is gonna be different. But it's gonna meet this junction box right here with these two 11 millimeter, I believe. And they're gonna go in there. So you're gonna unscrew it on both sides. Take out this brake line. That is also 11 millimeter, I believe. My camera would focus. And then you'll be able to put the new one through that bracket. You're also going to have a nut on the top of this stud here. Now, like I said, your system's going to be different, but this should all be the same. And that hole is that one right there. And it slides over the top of that thread. And you should have something similar. How you want to position your brake line is completely up to you. You may want to zip tie it to something. Maybe around the frame here. Make sure it's out of the way of any moving parts. I'm going to go ahead and explain what I've done here. So, on the caliper side, you got that little square piece, and you put a copper washer on both ends, inside and outside between the bolt and the square piece. And up here, I went ahead and used the original bolt, so I didn't have to drill a new hole or anything. And then I believe it looks like we use this little shim piece here to keep the hose inside the bracket, and then you screw your original steel line into the top of the brake line. Alright, on my setup, I had to go and get some adapters for the ends of the brake lines to go into the junction box there. But now I've got my brake line lined up. Now the last thing I really need to do is zip tie this to something. And again, your setup on the rear axle may be completely different than mine. Now we're going to crack the pit right here.
Let it go to the floor when he loosens on it. You got it loose?
No, it's a different one. 9 millimeter.
No, that's the standard one.
Is it?
It's probably that. Isn't that that one right there?
Nope, it's a 9 mil.
Probably that other 3/8 or something.
I was using the 3/8.
Is it that one? That one, Anthony. Right there. It's the only one that's different.
Yep, you're right.
Is it to the floor? Okay. Tighten it up.
Okay.
Let go. Pump it up 5 times. Hold it. Break it. Tighten it.
Okay.
Okay, go to the next one. Are you getting air or just straight fluid?
That was all fluid.
Okay. Pump it up. Hold on. Don't break it yet. Pump it up 5 times. Hold it. Break it loose.
Yep.
Tighten it.
Yep.
Any air?
That was all fluid.
Okay, next one. Over here.
Hella thick, I wanna swallow, but like you're tryna speed up, man, shut up now, hella thick, I wanna swallow, like you're tryna speed up, man, shut up now, hella thick, I wanna swallow, like you're tryna speed up, man, shut up now,
That was my installation of the Crown Performance stainless steel extended brake lines for the 2000 Jeep Wrangler. As long as you know how to bleed brakes, it's a pretty easy process. Obviously, you gotta make sure that you get all the air out of the lines. I had a little bit of help from my grandpa Jim. It's always good to have a little bit of help, to be sure. But I think they look great on there. They're going to be a lot better than the stock ones. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.